Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Kenzi from Tugasku Islamic Junior High School. And today I'm going to tell a story. A long time ago, after burying a warlord who had died in the war against the enemy, the king called two soldiers who had previously been assistant warlords. The king said, "Are you both willing to deliver a letter of support to the Tiger King so that they will help us fight against the enemy?" asked the king. "We are willing, your highness," replied the two soldiers, bowing their heads in their respect for the king. "On the way, both of you must be careful, because there are so many enemies out there that are stalking us. Do not let anything bad happen to both of you." "All right, your majesty," replied the two again. "You do not need to worry about us, your majesty, because we have been accustomed in the battlefield. We can handle whatever is going to happen." One soldier continued, "I know that both of you are often on the battlefield, but both of you must always be careful." The king warned, "All right, my king, we are ready," replied the two soldiers. "These two letters are the same. Each of you carries a letter. It's up to both of you to walk together or alone. I give you time until tomorrow afternoon. I hope that tomorrow night I'll receive a reply letter from the Tiger King." The king ordered. The two soldiers obeyed the king's orders and immediately carried out his orders as soon as they received the letter to be sent. They arranged a plan to deliver the king's letter to the Tiger King. They agreed on walking apart so as not to be known to the enemy. As night fell, the second assistant decided to go and deliver the letter from his king to the Tiger King. He chose to leave at night so as not to be caught by the enemy. He was convinced that at night, not all enemies were on guard, so he was able to escape to the Tiger King's palace and return safely. Meanwhile, the first assistant decided to wait it until the next day just left. He wanted to rest first at that night. But after the next afternoon, the second assistant had returned and brought with him a reply letter of the Tiger King. He immediately went to the king to hand over the reply letter. "Greetings, your majesty. I have returned and brought with me a reply letter from the Tiger King." "Thank you, but how can you get back in time?" asked the king as he reads the reply letter of the Tiger King. "I went to the Tiger King's palace last night when everyone and the enemy was asleep soundly." The king thanked him and told him to go back to his place of guard. By nightfall, the first assistant faced, "I'm sorry, your majesty, but I can't send the letter because there are so many enemies out there. I was unable to reach the Tiger King's palace," said the soldier as he bowed his head, ready to face the king's wrath. The king said nothing and just told him to go back to his place of guard. 2 days later, the palace's bell rang, a sign all soldiers were ordered to go and gather inside the palace's meeting room to meet the king. All the soldiers immediately went to the palace's meeting room to attend the meeting. After all the soldiers had gathered inside the palace's meeting room, the king immediately began the meeting. "Brothers, today I will choose and appoint someone who I consider to be suitable to replace our late warlord," said the king. Instantly, all the soldiers asked each other about who would become the warlord's replacement. Through careful consideration, I entrust the post of warlord to the soldier who had previously served as an assistant warlord. He had succeeded. He completed his task of sending a letter of support from me to the Tiger King to assist us against this fight against the enemy. The king explained. The above story reminds us that successful people are those who always act faster. They're not the kind of people that can only talk. They're not making plans either. They dare to act. Action is the beginning of success. Real action is needed to succeed. Those who fail are usually only able to talk and plan without any concrete action. Whatever we want is realized if there's real action, not just a plan or words. Act faster to do whatever you can. That is all of my story. Thank you very much for your attention. Please forgive me if I have any mistakes because perfection belongs to God. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.